Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. I said yesterday that I was probably going to do either Zelda or Castlevania, but I woke up this morning and realized that I didn't really feel like doing either of those things. I decided instead to jump on Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate and see what was going on, and to my shock, at this time of day, in the morning in my time zone, there are as many as 20 people online. It was 22 before I actually checked the lobby. Literally, in the time that it took for me to go from the world to the lobby, 2 people had left, or 3 people in that case, but it seems that we've got another person join, and now it's 21. Like, there is a healthy movement of hunters right now, and that's really quite nice. This guy, of course, has decided to put a password on his room. That's something that I won't allow myself to get annoyed by. Oh, here's Devil again. Except he doesn't have a passworded room. Now, for those who are not familiar with Devil, usually what he does is he sits in a room by himself with a password of, I believe, 1234. It's either 1234, no, I think it's 999, or 49, quadruple 9, I suppose you'd say. Yeah, I think the password was 9999, and he'd just sit there, alone, and he was always AFK. You know, you'd turn up into the room. There must have been at least 3 occasions when I went into his room, and he was AFK every time. Like, I'd stay there for 5 minutes, nothing. Just nothing from the guy. So it was very weird, and quite frankly, I don't know if I want to join his room again, because you can see it's empty, and he's the top room. So if he's the top room, it means that his room has been here the longest out of all the ones currently up. And again, there's no one, so what that tells me is that he's still AFK. Now, why he's... excuse the bird. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I'll let you finish. Yes, I know you have a lot to say. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. So basically, what that's telling me is that he's AFK, and I don't know why the hell he is AFK. That's very bizarre to me. I mean, why come online just to sit in a room by yourself AFK? I don't understand it. It seems that my only option at this stage, if I were not wanting to make my own room, is to actually join this person's room and wait for them to return from the quest, so I'll probably do that. Hey Takashi, good to see you. But yeah, so it's another day of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. We'll see what is in store for us. Whenever I play enough, we'll say enough, Generations Ultimate, I won't say too much. I wouldn't say I've played too much Generations Ultimate, but I would say that I've played enough. In other words, enough to satisfy whatever urge I had to play it initially. Once I've played enough of that, I'm really quite eager to get back into 3 Ultimate, because as much as I enjoy 4th Gen, 3rd Gen is home to me. And I would say 2nd Gen is also home to me. So, but I do find myself, whenever I play with people who play a lot of 2nd Gen, this is going to sound a little weird. Hey, Juvenator and N10? You've been waiting for this? Yeah, indeed. Well, if you are able to play, then jump on in. You have a free spot. And if you don't get into this free spot, I will make a room for the both of us. In fact, if you are jumping on, then maybe it would be better to just make a room, because I don't know what these people are doing, and they might not be a good group to play with. So maybe I should just try and make my own room. Yeah, I can give you as much time as you need, because I'm about to go into a brief discussion about something that may or may not be interesting to you. And when I say brief discussion, I do mean brief. It's only going to be like a minute. But what I was going to say was, I'd say there are enough people for HR rate. Sometimes I put G rank because I don't want to have too strict a filter, but I'd say this is alright. But yeah, because I spend a lot of my time outside of 2nd Gen these days, I do try to play in 2nd Gen as much as I can, like as much as I feel like I want to. But whenever I play with people who play a lot of 2nd Generation, I do see a clear disparity in knowledge, in skill even, in the sense that they're very, very comfortable in that space. Very comfortable. They know exactly what to do at whatever given time. Like, for example, they know exactly what the monster rotations are. They know, you know, little things like that. Stuff that is just accumulated knowledge from playing that game for a long time. And it's very strange to really feel out of my element. I mean, I don't feel out of my element, but when I compare myself to the people that I play with, yes, I do feel out of my element, because they clearly are far more comfortable with the game than I am. One of the things that happens when you play Freedom Unite, or any second-gen game, or even first-gen, is that if you are playing it, you probably play it a lot, because you're an enthusiast if you still play those games, I suppose. That's probably the logic behind it. So what happens is you just really do give yourself a little bit too much. Maybe not too much, but you give yourself a lot to those games. And yeah, for me, I have to say that going back and forth between different games in 4 generations of Monster Hunter does leave you with an overall skill set, but sometimes the skills that you acquire in, say, 3 Ultimate are not going to translate into Freedom Unite in any way, because there are going to be slight differences. So, you know, sometimes skills are replaced in your mind and in your muscle memory, and it's interesting anyway. That's just, it was an observation that I thought I'd make, you see. But, anyway. We do have a person joining us. This is Dark Wolf, and I have played with him before. I'm not sure what we'd like to start off with. He seems to be quite happy to do anything, so I will find a quest that might be fun to do. We could do the 2 Giganox monsters. Now that I think about it, I was woken up this morning by Bob the Builder hammering, so hopefully he doesn't do too much hammering here. He was just hammering them, but I think that was distant enough for that to not enter the mic, or not to be picked up by the mic, we'll say. How about the 2 pink monsters? Oh yeah, he's going at it. It's funny, it's quite ironic because basically a perfect formation? What do you mean? What do you mean perfect formation? If you have a suggestion, post it, damn it. Perfect formation. I only know 4-point formation, I don't know perfect formation. Are there really 2 quests that have formation in the name like that? Is it an event quest? I'm not necessarily opposed to doing whatever he suggests, it's just I don't know what. Or maybe he means that he wants to do 4-point formation but properly, not fucking around. I'm assuming he means like a 4-point formation with 2 normal heavy bowgunners and I think it probably changes, but usually it's at least 2 heavy normal bowgunners and 2 slime dual blades. That's what it was when I was doing it a while ago. And I only did it like once or twice. But there was a group that was doing it, and that was the protocol that they followed. Point, yes. Well, okay. Point. Yeah, that's the one word we're going to stick with there. That guy says perfect formation all the time for no reason, by the way. Okay. I'm glad you were able to get in there, though, N10. Generally, if you can't connect to a room, you stay unable to connect to the room, but I'm just going to ignore him and hope that he's okay with whatever I post. As far as what I want to post, I think we're going to do the 2 pink monsters. Purple Ludroth and pink Raytheon. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, actually, what is his deal? Thanks for hunting, says N10. He just randomly left for some reason. I don't know what he wants from me. If you wanted to do 4-point formation, I never said no. And if he didn't want to do 4-point formation, then what the hell is he talking about when he says perfect formation? I asked if he meant 4-point, and he said point, yes. What? It's just really weird. I don't understand it, but here I was thinking that we had a group together. But I guess Dark Wolf has other plans. I don't know who he wants to do 4-point formation with. But yeah, N10, we're going to do purple Ludroth and pink Raytheon, so you can set up for that if you'd like. In terms of what I would use, I think I'll probably use Raw or something. I'll probably use Raw. I'll use a Raw Greatsword. Because I would want to use... Purple Ludroth probably takes a decent amount of damage from lightning, doesn't he? So it could be a secondary weakness. I'm actually going to check. I'm going to, for once, get my 3G dex up so that I can check that for monster weak points and such, instead of having to check armor and guessing. So we're going to find Purple Ludroth, Fortunately, the list of monsters is smaller than Double Cross, so should be able to find it more easily. So, secondary weakness... Oh, come on. Yeah, so Thunder is the secondary weakness. Which means that I'll probably go Thunder, although I seem to remember Pink Raytheon having a lower weakness to Thunder. I think Dragon is considerably better for Pink Raytheon. Let me just see what's happening there. No, not necessarily. Although you could argue that Dragon is slightly better. Yeah, it is actually. It's not quite correct that it's considerably better, but yeah. Did you disconnect N10, or did you intentionally leave and rejoin so you could take slot 2? Yeah, exactly, Takashi. And hello, Exia. Oh, I see, that's what you were doing, N10, you said so in the chat. But yeah, there wasn't as big of a difference between Thunder and Dragon damage on a Pink Raytheon as I thought. So I will use a Dragon Greatsword then. As far as which one? Not sure. I think I have... No, I might only have one. I might just have the... No, I do have two, but one is Awakened. So we'll go Altios Evolution, which again is annoying because I do have Sharpness +1 on this set. But I don't have so many equipment slots, or equipment set slots, we'll say, that I'm going to make a set especially for weapons. Like a Greatsword Rocksteady set, especially for weapons that already have topped out sharpness without Sharpness +1. Like, I'm not doing that. It's stupid. So, I would be perfectly content to do that if I had more slots. But precisely because I have so few slots, I'm not going to be doing something like that. That's a silly idea. If you do at any point hear banging in the distance, it's just Bob the Builder looking for attention. He knows that I'm going to be live today, and so he said, today is a brilliant day for me to start hammering. You know, it was like 8:10 on a Monday morning that he decided to wake me up today with hammering. But it's just as well because I had a very nice sleep. That was a very good sleep that I had last night, actually. Because for some reason, and I still haven't put my finger on why, I think it was because it was cold or something, I had a rather disturbed sleep the night before, and basically didn't sleep the whole time, and I felt a little bit sleep deprived for the previous live stream. But thinking that it was the cold, and I'm quite sure it was the cold, I went and got a blanket, an additional blanket I should say, and used it for tonight, and that was a lovely sleep. I feel rather well rested after that. I wouldn't call it a tantrum. It was just an argument. A tantrum is complaining, you know. But we could call it an outburst, maybe. But yeah, I just didn't like the fact that the argument that you had with that person took over the stream chat for a little while. I'd prefer that sort of thing to stay in DMs, but I understand that it was taken to the chat for one reason or another. So, it's not a big deal. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Usually I would have something to hear or hear. So what am I missing? Doesn't... Oh, no, I do have a Farcaster. Well, it doesn't seem like I'm missing anything important, so I guess we'll just go. Of course, in this game, we don't necessarily have to worry about people not joining while the quest is in progress. And again, it's not necessarily a difference of community. If we were to compare it to Generations Ultimate when it comes to people not joining when the quest is in progress, it actually has to do with game function, as I've said before, because there is actually an option in Generations Ultimate to filter out rooms where the quest is in progress. So, yeah. And it's no surprise, really, that people do leave when they join a room. Like, let's say their search was showing that we were in the quest, and then they joined in when no longer, or excuse me, their filter shows that, or their search shows that we aren't on the quest, and then when they join it shows that we are on a quest. Naturally, they don't want to wait the entire duration of the quest for us to return. I would say the reason why people don't mind here, I'm going such a long way to this Raytheon. Well, that's assuming if I want to fight Raytheon first, maybe I'll fight. I mean, we could always go Excuse the freaky possessed voice. We could go one each, but I don't think I would want to do that. I'm not here to solo, I'm here to hunt online, you see. Mayushi entered the room. I love how you can type in loading screens in this game. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's the sort of communication you need. Yeah, people don't mind because of lack of rooms as well. But I was going to say that my theory is that if you were to see exactly how far through a quest a person was, in this game you would see a lot more people leaving. For example, this person, Mayushi, who just entered the room, seeing that we had just departed, or rather if that person could see that we had just departed, they might not be willing to wait. But they think that there's a possibility that we could be done, you know, even in a minute from now. And it's not going to be a long quest anyway, but the point is that it's the possibility that keeps people staying. But if they could actually see that they're going to have to wait a while, they wouldn't. That's my theory. I'm sure there are some people who would be willing to wait, but the point is that it's better for the community that we don't know these things. That's what I think. Now, in terms of there being less rooms in this game, it does depend on the day. It seems that there are not many people playing Generations Ultimate at the moment. Not many at all. So I don't think it's purely just because there are less rooms to choose from in this game. I think there is a difference in community and a difference in game mechanics in terms of like how the online works. The number of rooms in Generations Ultimate has sharply decreased. So, yeah. You're not having a good time over there, Purple Ludroth. Why did I'm being really dumb. I wasn't supposed to use a dragon weapon. I was supposed to use a thunder weapon, but that's alright. It doesn't really matter so much. Again, I was comparing dragon to thunder for Pink Raytheon. And I said, Mayushi, come on! Just as I was talking about the community being willing to wait. Fucking hell. But yeah, I was comparing dragon to thunder, and then I forgot exactly which of those two I was meaning to equip, and so I ended up equipping dragon. But as you can see, not a big deal. Oh, I meant to drink an antidote, not a frickin' cool drink. Oh no, Ken Dragon has visited the port. Now what's going on with Ken Dragon? He's the guy who was like Hunter rank 90 with no skills or something. And then the next time I saw him after calling him out, he had armor skills. He had like the full Silver Rathalos set or something. I don't know. I believe it was along those lines. In other words, he was focused more on getting his Hunter rank increased than actually getting armor skills. And again, it's less about him being stupid. I mean, he might be a beginner and not realize the importance of armor skills. My concern there is that he's hunting with people who don't tell him otherwise. You know, people who don't take responsibility for the fact that the guy is clearly doing the wrong thing. I feel like in the Monster Hunter community you do have a responsibility to tell people they're doing the wrong thing, because otherwise how are they going to know? Monster Hunter is one of those game series where sometimes you have to smash your head against a wall for a long time before you realize you're even smashing your head against the wall in the first place. So, really, now that I think about it, where is Pink Raytheon? Because where we fought Purple Ludroth, I was thinking that was where we would fight Pink Raytheon. So does she not spawn until he despawns? That's starting to look that way. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening here, because Arzuros is here. You will not get as many as 3 monsters in the locale at the same time in this game, so... Oh, can you fuck off? Stupid bear piece of shit. You're running into the wall, by the way. Anyway. Let's go and engage Miss Pink Raytheon. And I was actually, I believe, mistaken. This is an example of how confusing it can be to go from one game to another so frequently as I do. I came to realize that actually Pink and Azura don't exist in Portable Third. It was only the regular ones and Gold and Silver. And I had forgotten that. Like, I played a lot of Portable Third when it came out, and a lot of it afterwards, and yet I thought those two monsters were in the game, genuinely, and the reason why is because I've gone back and forth between so many games that I thought that that is what was happening. And I also confirmed that it was in fact in this game where the Raytheon monster actually has a curvature to the tail swing instead of it just being directly in front of the monster. So it was in fact in 3 Ultimate where that happened, not Portable Third, because I was fighting Gold Raytheon and in Portable Third and realised that's what was going on. So it's strange, isn't it? But yeah, you develop things like false impressions and false memories when you've got so many similarities between games. I mean, 3 Ultimate, while it is the G-Rank try, incorporates so many things from Portable Third. I mean, this entire location is Portable Third. So if I'm fighting Pink Raytheon in this area or Gold Raytheon in this area, my memories of this and Portable Third can very easily overlap because it's exactly the same thing you're looking at. So it's kind of weird. Settle for a level 1 here. No, you don't. Hopefully you don't land on me. It's a surprisingly gratuitous hitbox. Of course, the irony is that I said slightly gratuitous. Well, there goes N10. You weren't going adrenaline, were you? Guess you were just being lazy and not healing. You might have been going adrenaline, which I would say would be a bit overkill for this hunt, but... Oh, you were going adrenaline, okay. Or heroics, one of the two. Oh shit, here we go. Yeah, it's strangely I hadn't noticed that you were low health the whole time. Yeah, that's alright. Better to die from... Oh, okay. Well, I don't have an excuse. You had an excuse. I fucking didn't. Why am I dying to this monster? Oh well. That's a bit pathetic, isn't it? It's alright. It's entertainment for the audience, is it not? Oh yeah, I didn't say hi to Ken Dragon. I forgot about that. Oh god, I don't necessarily... Well, yeah, as I said, I don't necessarily have anything against him. He's just a beginner. What I take issue with is the community that allowed him to get to a hunter rank as high as 90-something with no armor skills. It's insanity. Like, to get to hunter rank 90 in this game, unless the guy really was grinding HRP, which he may very well have been, I'm going to say you need to play for about 70 to 80 hours, probably more. So that's 70 to 80 hours, most of that likely being in the online, where people just haven't taught him how to play the game properly. It's just really weird. And it's not like you really have to go far with it. Oh, N10 disconnected. That's a bit nasty, isn't it? I think one of the reasons why N10 has been showing up all that much, or at least as often as he could be, is because of his internet issues. So that is a shame. But I can finish this off. I've had some assistance by way of adrenaline, so that's not too bad at all. Just have to... oh, well... If I wanted to, I could capture and be done with it, but... I do always prefer to kill than capture. Capture always feels like a little bit of a cop-out. I only capture if I really want the monster to die quickly. Or, well, the quest to be completed faster. Well, that's very interesting that you don't limp out there. You actually move to leave as soon as possible. But yeah, I only do it for rewards' sake, and if I want the quest to be over faster. Outside of that, I kill, because I just prefer it. Your internet is fine? Well, maybe your connection to me messed up. It's possible. I mean, we might be quite distant from each other geographically, and I'm on Wi-Fi on my Wii U, so we likely just failed to connect in that moment and it caused a disconnect. That would be my guess. Hopefully you're able to get back in. I'm at risk of losing Ken Dragon. Oh no. I mean, I was barely using Mega Potions, but I died. I certainly wasn't going to use a Max Potion for that quest, that would have just been stupid. So, Yeah, I was sure to not be doing that. May as well kill some Jaggy. Unless he does back hops to get away from me. He knows that I'm actually rather dangerous. He wants to mess with me, but he doesn't. His instincts tell him yes, and his logical mind says no. Ugh. Anyway. That was hunt number 1. I don't know if we did that somewhat recently or not, like that very same hunt. Because I think I wanted to do it. Oh wow. Got a Raytheon Mantle out of that, which is incidentally quite an achievement. But it is my 5th. And the Raytheon Mantle is one of those materials that I don't really need, because I do have tickets to trade for them. I believe Raytheon Mantles are one of those. Oh, that was a Gold Crown Small Raytheon. I had a feeling it was a small one, I just didn't say. But, yeah, Gold Crown Small, that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I'm actually going to... Oh, I thought I'd make sure that my webcam was looking alright there. The chroma key's fine, but I look a little dark, don't I? I don't know. It's probably fine, isn't it? Don't need to be getting all anal about it. But I want to check my guild card to see how my crowns actually are. What is happening with my crowns here? So, I'm missing a small crown with Azaros. Missing a gold crown large for Devil Joe. Wow. I mean, in spite of... I always look good, well thank you. Well, you'd think with all those hunts I'd manage to get a gold crown at some point, wouldn't you? In terms of Nibblesnarf, it's not as big of a deal. I mean, to be honest. Well, it's the same, isn't it? No, it's not the same. Don't know what I was getting confused by there. Well, I'm actually much closer than I thought. If you're seeing this, I mean, it throws you off a little bit when you've got monsters that are a set size, but if we actually count the number of crowns that I need, it's not many. Oh no, it is actually. I've got these ones at the start. I actually totally missed these ones at the start. Unless this is one of the first pages. Hold on, how does this work? Did I default to a... Oh, I must have just totally skipped this page. That's very odd. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 crowns that I need. Yeah. Well, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? But in actual fact, it's pretty awful. I don't know where Kendragon is. What's he doing? I don't know. It's a bit odd. He might be actually getting an armor set together. Who knows? In terms of what's happening with N10, I actually don't know. I was hoping that you would have joined back by now, but that doesn't seem to be happening at this stage. Are you trying to get back in and you're unable to, or what's happening there? Oh, I see. I forgot that you would have been in the hunt as well. Being pinged by someone on Hunsterverse. N10 has returned. In slot 2. No less. I don't know what's happening with Kendragon. He's probably AFK. I don't think he's working on anything. But how would I know, to be completely honest? I don't really know if I want to keep him, but I suppose he may as well stay, because I don't think I'm going to have many other people in here. Oh. I guess I don't have to worry. I don't have to weigh up my options. He's going to take it into his own hands. Okay. Well, how about 2 baleful Giganox? That sounds like fun. Thanks for hunting, says Enten. Yes, indeed. Except, no thanks, because he didn't actually hunt in the end. You hate a lot of things, don't you, Cavernator? Well, so do I. We are alike in that regard. So water is the ideal element, I think, so... Because if you think about it, they really are going quite hard with Giganox being the 3rd gen equivalent to Kezu, because regular Kezu is weak to fire, and then the subspecies of Kezu is weak to water, and they've done the exact same thing with Giganox, so... It makes sense, though. You have the opposite element as a weak point for the subspecies, kind of makes sense. Hi. But yeah, I suppose I do feel like going Greatsword again, so I will... Well, here we go. I could either do the Excalius Sword or an Awaken... Is it Chrome? No, I go Awaken Greatsword, and I'll work out which Greatsword is my Water Awaken one, if there is one. Water? Water? Water, Samoom Sandbiter, right. I'll be using that. Oh, wait. Haha, I can't actually use Awaken Greatsword against this monster because I need high-grade earplugs for Giganox. Just as well I was thinking about that, so we will go with the Excalius Sword, which is the Cedeus Greatsword. I hate people, says Takashi. Fair enough. Alright. Wherever that is. Shock Treatment, it's called. And of course, Giganox in the baleful form is the monster most similar to Kezu in the series, because he's intended to be a Kezu equivalent visually and in concept, but he also deals thunder damage, so... And is generally thunder-based. Sky visited the pool. Hunter rank 8, I think that was. Why would he be Hunter rank 8? Hasn't broken his HR yet? No, it mustn't be. It is 8. What's he doing? Doesn't want to break his cap. He's comfortable at 8. Basically, once you reach HR 8, you only need to speak to this guy, and your HR cap will be removed. So I don't know what's going on with him, but you never know. He might be one of those people who wants to HR break to Hunter rank 999. If you could even... Well, I suppose you could calculate that. I'm assuming that it does show you the number of HRP or Hunter rank points you have. But maybe it doesn't, so if it doesn't show you, I suppose you wouldn't know. Yes, I know, Takashi. That was the topic. It's a little dark, isn't it? I'm a little worried about the darkness of my webcam. Although against a white background, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. So for the Tundra, actually no, it is going to be a little darker than this, because we will be fighting Baleful in the cave area. Okay, we get the point, Cavernator. Thank you for letting us know that you hate Blame Gonga. You wouldn't be the only one. I don't like him either. Sorry for bumping the microphone there. Actually, I don't really want to move the... Move this close. I'm trying to put the webcam in a position where the boom stand actually goes under the webcam, so that it doesn't so much cover me. That's the ideal. Anyway, there are a lot of things that I'm negotiating right now that I'm not going to go into, because you don't care about the finer points of what goes into the recording of this, but yeah, there were at least 3 to 4 things that I was having to negotiate in that moment. that all need to be just right. Anyway, it seems that we are going to be fighting Baleful in the open area, which is good. I'm always happy to do that. And it's good that we've got a group of 4 too. I'm happy to see that. Oh, stupid wind press. No. See, I got pushed away from him as well, which only makes it worse. I'd like to hit that thing on his back. I don't know if that actually explodes or anything. Got no idea. Did I manage to roll through that? Wow. I didn't know that was something you could roll through, and the reason why is because I assumed that that would linger. Like that would be a lingering hitbox or something. But apparently it's something that is so sharp that it can be, or so quick, covers only so many frames, that it can be rolled through, which is good. I'm trying to keep that in mind. Because, you know, some things you just assume can't be rolled through because they probably have a lingering hitbox, but that would be an example of something that doesn't, which is cool. Whoa. Like, for example, a lingering hitbox would be the lightning attack of Laggy when he has that outward lightning. That is something that you can't roll through, because unless you roll out of range in the same moment you do your first roll. But if you don't roll out of range, then you will just get hit, I think. I mean, you'd have to be very, very aptly positioned to roll through that. You couldn't be standing right next to Laggy and successfully roll it, that's the point. Well, don't know where you're headed for, Baleful, but... Oh, I see. N10 is actually soloing the other one. And wait for you to come down. I'll try to do a greatsword. No, actually, that's not going to work with him. That's stupid. I'm thinking of Kezu. Almost. I mean, Kezu also slams down on the ground when he drops, but not quite as terribly as Kezu does. So it's a bit hard to greatsword charge Kezu coming down. Oh. So what have we got here? We've got... Oh no, N10 is here now. Okay. Were you soloing the other one? I think you were. You were in combat, so I'm assuming you were. You've got the harp bow. I used the harp bow in Freedom Unite and one other game. It must be for Ultimate. I don't use it here. I believe it was a spread bow that I used in Freedom Unite. But I had a very specific way in which I used it. I believe it was just shooting off level 1 shots. Or something like that. Because it was, I think, spread level 5 on the first shot. Something like that. So I would just fire off a lot of shots with it. And it had good elemental damage, so it wasn't too bad, damage-wise. I hope that's a good way to use it anyway. That's how I use it. Alrighty. I'm kind of surprised that that took so long. I wonder why it took so long. We even had a guy running slime. And it took a full 5 minutes to kill one of 2 monsters. And the reason why I say one of 2 monsters is because obviously they would have reduced health at that point. It's a little bit bizarre. Alright. That's the most annoying thing with Giganox when you're trying to greatsword him. He just launches himself in the air above your sword swing. Happens a lot more than you might think. Well, maybe not. Maybe you would expect it to happen a lot because you've seen it happen at least 3 times in this hunt. It is annoying. But it is what it is. Managed to miss the first attack there. Well, he managed to miss. I managed to get out of range of it. Or stay out of range of it, we should say. Go for a slam attack here, slam charge. Of course, there's no follow-up with that in this game. That was introduced in 4 Ultimate, or 4 I should say. Lest someone correct me. That wasn't a limp out, was it? Couldn't be. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe N10 dealt enough damage to get him limping. Because I'm pretty sure he was fighting the second one. Oh, shit. Stupid monster. There we go. Well, that ended up being a pretty quick hunt anyway. Not too bad. Maybe my DPS just sucked with the first one. Possibly. Sky is using a fire hunting horn. I'm not sure about that one. Strange decision. Strange hunting horn too. It's literally a Kurapeko beak. With teeth included. So I guess you would say a Kurapeko mouth. Which is a bit gross, but... In fact, no. It's a Kurapeko head. It's got the eye too. So it is the actual top of the head with the lower jaw removed, I suppose. Which is a bit disgusting if you think about it. You've literally just put a head on a stick. I mean, it's not a representation of a head, I don't think. I think it's actually a Kurapeko head. So, if you really stop and think about that, that's gross. Hey, Autonomic. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm not sure I would be comfortable walking around with the hunting horn like that. I think I'd be quite opposed to it, to be completely honest. Don't have too much in the way of baleful stuff, actually. Well, I have a decent amount, but I'm not having to worry about stacks of 99 or anything. Got a decent amount of pale extract, which is good. But yeah, we've got a full team together, which is good to see. I do prefer that. It means we can do some, maybe, harder quests. Of course, when I have an HR 8 plus room and do quests that can be joined by HR 6 people, that's not me being stupid. The point is that we may do quests that require HR 8. So I would like the option to do them, that's the point. I don't want to be forced to only do quests that HR 6 people can join. So, we could check our list of HR 8 quests and see what might be fun to do. Kurapeko 2-step is considered... Oh, it's Land Arena, that's why. Now, I believe that gives you an event weapon. Or, you know, tickets for something related to an event, so... Or an event weapon, you know what I mean. Eyes of the Storm. Awesome more, we did that, I think, last recording, didn't we? Well, I know we did it recently, but I think it was the last time I was recording. In 3 Ultimate, specifically. Well, I don't like any of these Land Arena ones. Well, that's not Land Arena, actually. Mountain Massacre. See, they don't call it an epic hunt in this game. Well, I don't really want to do any of those. Let's just look at advanced quests. We could do a Burnt Offering. That could be fun. Uragam, Arknaktor, and Azur Rathalos. I mean, unless these guys want something, I hadn't really considered that. You know, maybe we could have them post whatever they want. Because I do enjoy that too. I wouldn't, like, for example, if a person just needed one regular Raytheon, that's not something I would post on my own. But if someone else posts it who needs it, I'm happy to do it. Quite happy to do it. That was the last hunt for the last recording, radio. You guys need anything? Of course, referring to Boongie, and Sky. I'm sure Sky needs something. Boongie, I've got no idea. But yeah, to be honest, provided they have interesting quests, I'd be happy to go back and forth between Boongie and Sky for posting. I would be quite comfortable with that. Seems like Sky is going to take first pick First come, first serve, I suppose. Because I think they joined around the same time, so it doesn't really matter all that much. What would you like to do? Please choose something that's not garbage, like Brachydios or something. I was giving an example of something that was garbage, not something that is not garbage, by the way. I like Brachydios, but I've hunted way too many of them. Way too many. Well, I'll just wait for him to post. I'm not going to stand at the board. That's no fun. It's more fun to walk around, isn't it? Ugh. You haven't seen the Cedeus Greatsword in a long time? Well, interestingly, it's also, I believe, in Generations Ultimate. I think it can be made with Ocean Pyrazine. Well, that's an interesting quest. We'll be doing Green Plesioth and Royal Ludroth. So, I guess I will go fire. Oh god, says N10. Well, guess what I'll be using? I'll give you one guess. Well, no, I suppose you wouldn't guess, but now you might be able to guess. Anima Reaper. Oh, it's Water Arena? Never fucking mind. I didn't know it was Water Arena, I thought it was Flooded Forest. Holy shit. Definitely not using a greatsword in something that's strictly underwater. But I do remember this quest now that you mention it. And the underwater arena is something that a lot of people haven't seen. It's unique to 3 Ultimate. Obviously, well, and Try, I should say. 3 Ultimate and Try. And it's kind of not great, but anyway. I will use a Fire Gun Lance, which will be the Duality. Which I'm not too happy with sharpness-wise, but anyway. It's actually not... I've always read it as Duality, you know, but it doesn't say that. Doesn't say that at all. You know, sometimes you say something, or you pronounce something without actually reading it properly, and you just do it for a long time. But if I actually read it, it's a weird word. It's Disagility. Disagility. Now, whether or not Disagility is a word, Disagility, yeah. I don't know, but it seems related to the word casualty. So, I don't know if it's in some way relating to the word casualty, or if it's just a similar word, or if it's just a made-up word. The Disagility. I suppose you'd say Disagility, yeah. More of a j sound would be ideal. Anyway. Weird name. I've always said Duality because that makes more sense than Disagility. Disagility is just very awkward. I'll try to remember that. Well, I will remember that. That's not something I'd forget. I take no pleasure in mispronouncing things. But if there's something that's foreign to you, visually, sometimes you will read it in a way that makes sense to you. Or in a way that would be comfortable to you, I suppose. We're actually going to start with Plesioth here, because it's worse to be fighting a monster with Plesioth attacking you. I'd rather be fighting a monster with Ludroth attacking me, to be honest. Ludroth isn't too difficult to deal with. You can see that underwater Plesioth really has a terrible tail swing. It's not good fun at all. I can probably get a full combo. Well, if you could get out of my way, Ludroth, you're really not the target right now. Look at that beautiful maneuverability of the Gun Lance underwater. It's so good underwater. It really goes from being, on land, a fairly stationary weapon type, to being very good for mobility underwater, which is not too surprising because, again, mobility is an issue underwater. But when you have an attack like the advance forward of the Gun Lance, it really does make a difference to underwater combat in general. In other words, a weapon type like Longsword is going to feel about as immobile underwater as a Gun Lance would feel on land. So this is almost Gun Lance's ideal environment. I would almost argue that Gun Lance is even better underwater than Lance is. They're equal, if not Gun Lance coming slightly on top. Coming out slightly on top. Disaster and casualty? Yeah, I would imagine so. That's what I was assuming. Because I don't think disasualty is a sensible word to exist in the English language. I mean, there are some weird words out there that no one uses, but... Anyway. Some of which I don't use purely because no one would know what they mean. Now, do I have guard up on this set? Like, if you were to do a water beam right now, would I be able to avoid it? I think I do have guard up on this set. I don't. Well, that's sad. Usually I try to prioritize guard up over guard +2 with the Gun Lance or Lance set. Like, if it has to be one or the other, it would be guard up, because at least I can guard everything. I might not be able to guard as well as I could with guard +2, for example, but at least I can guard everything, and I don't have to worry about it. So, I may very well remake a Gun Lance set that will have Artillery Expert, Guard Up, Sharpness +1, Razor Sharp, or something like that, you know. I think I would prefer that to this. So... we're going to try that out. I've got no idea if that can be done. I'll have to check to see what I can do with the talismans that I have. It is very much reliant on your talismans, obviously. I'm carving because I don't care. I want stuff. That's true. Takashi, I mean, Ludroth was, I suppose, the first monster really that taught you that when you fight a water monster in their environment, in the place where they are comfortable and where they thrive, they are a force to be reckoned with. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that Royal Ludroth is really hard underwater, but compared to a land confrontation, yeah, quite different. And maybe it has more to do with the limited mobility of the hunter than the added mobility of the monster. But I do have a feeling that Ludroth does move better underwater as well, so... in other words, underwater combat with Royal Ludroth is a much better Ludroth hunt in general. A little more threatening, a little more intimidating, and it feels like more of an achievement when you kill him. Alright, I'm gonna try to do a power shot. There we go. Well, heavy shot I call it. Don't know if power shot would be the word. I'm sure there is a word to describe that heavy shelling maneuver. I just don't know what it is. I call it heavy shot, and I would imagine that you know what I'm referring to when I do say that. But yeah, it came as quite a surprise to learn that Gun Lance is actually so damn good underwater. But then when I thought about it, I realized, well no, it's similar enough to Lance for it to make sense that Gun Lance would be so good underwater. And it is very good underwater. I think they did the right thing with Laggy in Generations Ultimate. They basically turned him into Ivory Laggy in terms of his moveset. I think that was the right thing to do. They really wanted to bring Laggy back, but they weren't willing to do underwater combat, so I think they brought Laggy back in the right way. Doing Laggy dirty would have looked something like, oh shit, land-based combat with Laggy in this game, which is basically a retarded version of Agnaktor. Because Agnaktor is at least able to burrow into the earth and do things like that, but land-based Laggy in this game, as in non-Ivory, just regular Laggy, is just a nothing fight. So, that's why he was brought back in the way that he was. It's always nice to see that I'm able to take all of the materials there after a hunt. without worrying about making an extra stack or something. I don't enjoy doing that. I don't enjoy having to check to see if I'm making an extra stack. It's just an extra process that I would rather not have to engage with. Alright. No, stop that. Okay. Don't know what we're doing next. I'll ask if Boom... I don't know if it's Boongy. Yeah, it must be Boongy. Don't know how else you'd refer to him. Oh, goodness me. After this, Morales? Oh, this was already discussed. Didn't actually read the chat. I'm guessing that was... No, that actually wasn't said during the quest. If it was said during the quest, they would actually have their corresponding hunter colors for their names. But because there were no colors there, it must have been said here in the lobby, and I just didn't notice it. Anyway. We're doing a Morales hunt, and for a change I will actually bring a Blademaster weapon. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long ass time, I can tell you that. Now I believe the primary weakness of Morales is Dragon. I would assume that the secondary would be water or ice. I'm actually going to have a look and see. It's been a while since I've checked Morales weaknesses. Right, so primary is... Look, ice is better for the smelter, which is the circular part near the tail, but dragon is generally better for like the upper part of the body. I'll go with dragon. I think dragon is the best way to go. Generally speaking. And I can use the lovely Alatrion Gleam, or Alatrion Gloral, Altios Gloralis I think it's called, in this game. Let's go with this, I think. Defender High, sure, that's a good idea. Defender High with attack up large, that works out rather well, because I'm getting both an increase in defense and attack in that case. It's perfect. As you've noticed, I almost always eat for attack in this game. I don't know why, I think I just don't ever feel like I need additional defense. Which is probably a good thing. Alright, let's get moving. Oh, goodness. I apologise if I yawn. It's just, I had such a good sleep last night that I'm still feeling a little... You know, it's a different sort of drowsiness. It's not lack of sleep drowsiness, it's almost like I haven't properly woken up yet drowsiness. There we go. So, I might start off with attacking the chest. Managed to get in the water, fortunately. I always prefer to get flinched in the water by that rule. Have to shield that. But yeah, I'll start off with attacking the chest. Which is... I guess is considered the body? There is no specific hit zone for the chest, which I didn't know. Interestingly, it's the body hit zone. Or maybe that's what the chest is referred to as. Which is good, apparently. Seems like 25 elemental, which is, well, not amazing, but it's good enough. I'm just going for damage at the moment, wherever I can. And of course, I'm using Lance so that I can comfortably use it underwater here. Might go for the wing. Ooh, wing does not actually take much elemental damage at all. But it's a decent hit zone for raw damage. Cutting. Ow. Stop hitting me, damn it. But yeah, I always go Pierce Gun versus Morales these days, and I know you guys are probably sick of seeing that, so I'm actually using a Blade Master weapon. Just for something a little different. For your benefit and for mine, really. And you can see that I've almost forgotten how to Blade Master this monster, because I'm just running into his attacks at this point. It has been a long time since I last went Blade Master with him. It may be as long as 4 years since I last went Blade Master versus this monster. And if I did do it in the last 4 years, it was exactly one time, and I don't remember it, so... Definitely wouldn't be 2 times. High DPS helps, also. So try to attack as quickly as you can. Tis what I'm doing. There we go, there's that arm. He's doing that, which I should be able to counter, hopefully. And no, I think I just ran out of my counter. Or completed my charge, that is to say. I've been getting hit kind of foolishly here, you'll have to forgive me. Oh, God. But yeah, I'm very rusty with Blade Master Morales. Hey, Gaming, haven't seen you recently. Good to see you. I'm doing rather well. Last time you went Blade Master versus Morales was for your Urgent. Well, that was a long time ago, N10. Wasn't able to get the chest there. You never know, still might be able to get it. Ah! Can I get it? I tried. I did what I could. The smelter has been broken. So when on land, usually I just attack the smelter. Until he falls over, that is. Dragon is also good for the smelter. I don't know why I wasn't affected by the roar there. Maybe Sky's playing high-grade earplugs and I didn't notice. But yeah, Dragon's still good for the smelter even though Ice is technically better. Now I think in terms of damage, when it is no longer flowing with lava, it's marked as hardened. Sort of in the same way that you would refer to Agnaktor as being hardened, but I would refer to this as broken. But I suppose... yeah, I don't know. Apparently it becomes a slightly better hit zone here when broken, assuming hardened refers to broken, in the case of the smelter, which I'm guessing it would. You can't see much of the monster when you're attacking the smelter, as you can see. It's one of the reasons why I don't go Blade Master very often versus this monster. It's because when he's on land, you're just staring at this crack in his tail the whole time. It's a bit like a gen hunt. But that's not really true. It's not like you're attacking the spine of the gen the entire fight. And that's not necessarily the case here either. Here we go. Let's go for that chest. Actually, I should go for the head. Let's do that. Good for element. He's much like a Fatalis in that way. I definitely need to sharpen up though, if you haven't noticed. I bloody well have. I didn't even realise that I was down to blue sharpness, to be honest with you. Or maybe I did, but I just thought it was appropriate for some ungodly reason. You're playing Daggerfall stuck in a dungeon? Sounds like Daggerfall to me. I think, in my current playthrough I'm struggling through one particular dungeon. I have a warp system in Daggerfall. I put a warp point at the start of the dungeon so I can just warp back to that point if I do get well and truly lost. I think that's a standard, but this is not a good spot to be. I can probably get to the head, but there we go. Actually managed to get a number of hits off there. That is everything broken on the monster. He shouldn't last much longer. I'm thinking another minute. In other words, he's not going to be getting to the water. At least I wouldn't imagine so. Now, here's the funny thing with this monster. I was under the impression that the regular version of the hunt, which is this one here, was a little bit too easy. A little bit too easy. Fuck off, Sky, dick. I don't need to be fucking flinched by your stupid hunting horn. Like, if you can see that you're flinching me, an actual damage dealer, leave me alone. What I was going to say was that Morales feels a little too easy in this particular quest. And so last time I hunted Morales, I thought, hey, let's do the... Oh, there's a Dire Dragon Gem. The rare item. So last time I fought Morales, I thought, hey, let's do the event quest. Turns out the event quest is actually a lot harder. Like, considerably harder. There is a huge increase in difficulty there. In terms of health of the monster, in terms of damage the monster deals, the whole thing. They basically say, well, if you want a challenge, you can have it. Morales' face from inside looks funny. Yeah, it does. He's got like a weird expression going on there. I wasn't able to get all of my carves, and I don't know why. I feel like I was carving at an appropriate rate there. Is it worth Dragonating Morales? He backs into it when he comes up the second time, I believe. So, if you've got a good team, you probably won't need to Dragonate. Can't remember the last time I Dragonated a Morales monster, but yeah, basically, when he comes out of the water the second time, I'm pretty sure he's right by the Dragonator, or maybe when he goes into the water the second time, I don't remember, but there is a point where he will walk quite close to it, and then you just go up on the boat and Dragonate. That's the reason why it's positioned awkwardly. It's so that it can only be used at a certain stage in the fight to help the team out, because the Dragonator is there for when the team's struggling, basically. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've Dragonated that monster. Not since the early days of the game, when people didn't have really good sets to fight him with. You know, you just had whatever you happened to have up until that point. And so the hunt generally took longer at that point. At that time. Because all the teams were about equally ill-prepared. I wouldn't say ill-prepared, but maybe underpowered, we could say. No one had heavy damage piercing guns for him at that point. Well, some probably did, the real hardcore players, but I wasn't one of those people at that time. Ugh. I just reached the end of G-Ring. Didn't have time for gun sets. What I do with gun sets is I wait until I'm in the end game. The one in the water is right up the back, isn't it? I don't think I've ever used the one underwater. I've seen it, but I think it's right towards the back or something. Don't quite remember where it is. Who post? Well, I can post. Unless he wants to. Although I wouldn't want to do Morales again. I don't mind Morales, but I don't want to do too many. Oh, he left. Who post? And then he leaves. Or whatever. Maybe he had a feeling that he wouldn't get another turn, so he's fucking off somewhere else. Most likely. What shall we do in the meantime, then? How about 2 steel Urugan? That sounds like a plan. Why not? So that would be ice, wouldn't it? I think ice is better than water for steel Urugan. Let me check. I have my reference after all. Steel Urugan. Huh. Water is best. So actually ice ends up being a tertiary weakness. Primary is water, secondary is dragon. So I will go water. I might go water pierce bow. As far as... oh, well, I found out pretty quickly what my water pierce bow is. It's a load up Cedeus bow. In terms of what it shoots, I would hope for power coating. No, doesn't shoot power coating. Gardain visited the port. Don't know if I've played with this person before. Seems like a vaguely familiar name. Don't know what the hunter rank is. I will check momentarily. Nerves of Steel, I think, yes. Goody, goody. So what is your huntering? No, I don't want to talk to Char-Char. I'm sick of talking to Char-Char. I don't know if that's Char-Char or Kayamba, to be honest. 122. I think I've played with Gardain before. I'm getting a feeling. I don't think this thing shoots close range either, does it? Well, no, it does. It would be quite unusual for it to not shoot close range. Usually it's one or the other. Well, not one or the other, but... I mean, a lot of bows shoot both, but the point is that usually if you can't shoot power, you can at least shoot close range. It may even be the case that all bows shoot close range. I don't know. I can't remember now. It's just one of those little things that you forget. You don't really retain information like that. Unless you consciously try to remember it. Which I don't. Yeah, we'll just go with this. I'm going to bring Swimmer. Oh. Right. Bullfango stick. And I think he has a bigger skirt too. Sometimes when they have weird masks on, I don't know the difference. Martin visited the port. So, is there anything that I would like to bring? I keep air filters for abyssal laggy confrontations, but at this point I think I'm going to put them away. I'm not really doing abyssal laggy anymore. That should be fun. Unless I would like to bring some paralysis coatings. Oh no, I don't. I can't shoot those anyway, so... I'd say we are ready to go with this. I didn't check Martin, actually. Let's see what he's got. He is Hunter rank 7. Totally ignoring the room information. Which quite specifically says HR 8+, which is, again, universal. You don't need to speak English to understand that. This guy just doesn't give a shit. But you know what? I'll keep him until we post a quest that he can't join. How about that? If, for whatever reason, we're going to do a quest that is HR 8 and above, then he'll just have to leave, I suppose, or be kicked. One of the two. Or maybe less people are playing right now and he just doesn't have anywhere else to be, at which point I understand. But when I made this room, there were enough people for him to play with. He just sent the number 1, apparently. Don't know what that's supposed to mean. So, I'm assuming one of the steel Urugan will be in... We're all typing numbers now, apparently. But yeah, I'm going to go to Area 6 for what I believe to be the first one. I don't know where the other one would be. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is Urugan, isn't it? He's on that side in this game, I think. No, no. Urugan's usually on that side, and then Agnaktor's on that side. So I don't know where the hell the other one is. Oh, it looks like... Okay. It is in the Agnaktor starting point, so I'm going to paintball this one, and go and hunt the one in the Agnaktor starting point. You suck. With that awkward turn you just did. Not impressed with that. Come on. Do whatever you're doing. Yeah, I know you're going to do your... Oh, I was expecting the chin slam. Alright. Now, close range coatings with Pierce is not all that good. Close range is really best for rapid and spread, but this will be fine too. No, he's not talking about Area 1. There's nothing that would start in Area 1 here. Why am I wasting my coatings so foolishly, I wonder? In fact, why did I decide on Pierce? That's a strange choice. I usually don't go Pierce with the Urugan. I usually go rapid or spread, to be honest with you. Because you have to either be at the front or the rear of the monster to really pierce well. You can't pierce from the side. He's not a very wide monster. He's like a big sausage. Long, but not very wide. Able to get out of range of that. As per usual, I didn't bring deodorants, because I just never do that. Why would I ever do such a thing? Why would I ever try to help myself out? Sounds like a foolish thing to do to me. Was it? I knew I'd get hit by that. I had an inkling. That's alright, I can pretend that I'm playing Adrenaline right now. Let's play pretend. I'll pretend that I'm not playing like shit. Unfortunately, these rocks really... Well, I don't think they can explode at any time. Feels like that's a risk, though. You'd have to wait for an impact, but... They do explode on a timer as well. I'm just hip firing here. No, you don't. There you go. Adrenaline bow. Oh, thank you, Anton. Can leave it to you, I suppose. You're not quite so lazy. Quite as lazy as I am. I just never bring deodorants to either Congalala or Steel Urugan hunts. I just don't do it. Why? Because I am bloody lazy. Bloody lazy. Can't help myself. Now, why Steel Urugan is smelly, I don't know. I don't know if there's a lore explanation as to why. But I've always found it strange. I've always found that it's an ability that was sort of shoehorned into the lore of the monster. It just doesn't quite work for me. In terms of what he would do, I don't know. Like Steel Urugan, what would he do if not be smelly? I'm not sure, but smelly wouldn't... Okay. Smelly, or being a smelly monster would not immediately enter my mind. Is it specifically because it's unusual? Like it's not what you'd expect? Steel Urugan, what does he do? Well, what I would imagine is that he would be a desert-based Urugan. Let's say, for example, we compare Blangonga to Copper Blangonga. I was imagining that he'd be more of a Copper Blangonga sort of subspecies when I first saw him. But, no, he's smelly. Not when I first saw him, I guess. I think I first saw him not in-game, but rather in a monster list for Portable Third. So, I thought that maybe he'd be a desert-based monster like Copper Blangonga was. Probably not having a specific element, maybe just shooting out fire, maybe like regular Urugan does. Something like that, you know. Although steel would be strange in the desert, wouldn't it? It would heat up quite a lot, but really, if it's an Urugan, he wouldn't mind, would he? He wouldn't mind heating up like that. If he's an Urugan, he'd probably thrive in that way. I mean, if you think about it, if he's made of steel and he's in the volcano, he'd be able to handle the heat of the desert. Anyway, point is, I just didn't really know what Steel Urugan was going to be, but I certainly never would have guessed that he'd be a Congalala monster, I guess. Well, if I say that, so as to mean that he's going to perform the duty that Congalala performed, which was be a smelly monster. I don't know, wouldn't I? Guess we could say that. Seems like a stretch, though. Because he's flinging out smelly rocks. Now, the smelly rocks, that's where I start to get really confused. What the hell is the deal with the smelly rocks? Whose idea was it? And all that good stuff. I don't understand it. But yeah. I'm gonna move my reference out of the way so that I can make sure that I'm looking reasonable on OBS. But yeah, no power coatings here, so now that I'm out of close range I can just relax and not worry about coatings at all. What is my end damage value here? 324 for raw, inflated raw of course, and I believe that was 320 for element, which is pretty good. That's why it doesn't shoot power, you see. It does plenty of damage on its own without the power coatings. should be safe there. Oh, that was very close. Might not have looked close, but it certainly was. Because that's got a reasonable hitbox, that chin smack. I've never understood why the raw chin smash never did hit you. Always seemed like a strange idea to me, that it just wouldn't even touch you. I could understand if it was like a little hit, like it knocked you on your hands and knees or something with a little bit of damage, but it doesn't even flinch you. It's like the chin slam after the raw doesn't even exist. Well, I shouldn't say slam, that's a chin slam. It's more like a chin hammering. You know, they had the hammer time reference for, I think, the tri-quest name. Or it might have been one of the event quests, I can't remember, but I think they had the reference to the song. I was gonna say, you're not limping already, are you? I'm just gonna, oh, look out. I'm gonna drop this on the face. Just kind of hoping for something that wasn't blast. Didn't realise it was going to be a blast arc shot. I don't think blast arc shot was in Portable Third, wasn't. Portable Third was the game that introduced arc shot. But I don't remember there being a blast arc shot in that game. I believe it was just focused and wide. I think those were your two choices. But again, I could be remembering incorrectly. Or failing to remember, in this case. No! Did you see that? Two very strange things just happened there, and I'll tell you what they were. The first thing was that Uragan was aiming to roll in a direction that was not towards me. But in the instant that he began his roll, he snapped into my direction. Second point, I managed to shoot a pierce arrow into him and flinch him just before he could hit me, which was quite cool. Quite cinematic, we'll say. That was very odd, though. What's Martin doing? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I didn't even notice. Has he been away from the hunt the whole time? If he has been, do tell me, because he'll be getting kicked faster than you can say, please don't kick me, Doomlink, I'm sorry for being so ignorant. Well, this is the thing, like, if he hasn't been here, this whole quest, which he may very well not have been, he was there for the first one. Should I ask him what he's doing? I'll ask him what he's doing. If he was there for the first one, I might not kick him, but... It's always hard to type when your fingers are cold. It's hard to do anything when you've got cold hands, actually. It's hard to exist with cold hands. Well, at least he was there for the first one. Looks like he's responding, because he's standing. Oh no, he's not responding. What are you doing, Martin? I mean, if you just come clean and say, oh hey, I really needed to gather some bugs. You know, I needed some rare scarabs, so I was doing some bug gathering. You know, something like that. I just want to know. Because otherwise it's a bit weird when you skip half the damn quest to fuck off doing something. Again, don't have too much in the way of Steel Uragan stuff. Very interesting. I mean, it just shows you that... Oh, that was a crown, actually. Was that? I don't think that was the last crown I needed, was it? For Steel Uragan. Let's have a little bit of a look and see if that was the last crown I needed for Steel Uragan. Steel Uragan... Yes, indeed. That was the last crown that I needed for Steel Uragan, and I believe that was a Gold Crown Large. So now I suppose it's 7 crowns that I need. I think it was 8 that I had counted before. So, wow. 1 down, 7 to go. So, that's not too bad at all. It's always nice to be able to gather all of the materials from the quest and not have to, well, I don't want to totally reiterate what I said before, but it's nice to not have to worry about creating extra stacks, that's what I will say. I don't know why I don't have many Steel Uragan parts. I must have used a lot of them. I'm tempted to check online to see... Well, not check online, I'm going to check Athena's arse, as they say. To see if I can make a different gun lance set. And if I can, I'd like to see if I can make it right now. In terms of who should post, I'm going to ask Gardane if he needs anything. Let's see if I can type properly. Come on. Fucking cold fingers. Do you need anything, Gardane? I'm going to go and open Athena's arse for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. R stands for Armor Set Search, don't freak out. Okay. So, Blade Master... Oh, I see. The last thing I had in Athena's arse was my Awakened Gun Lance set. You have 9 crowns left? Or are you saying I have 9 crowns left? Did I say 10 before? I thought it was 8 that I said. Anyway. I need to open a text file for what I'm trying to do in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Make sure that I'm not going to lose my search for the Awakened Gun Lance. 3 Ultimate. Weapons and armor, there you go. I'm glad I named these things in a logical manner. That is not helpful at all. This is just weapons. There's no armor there. Well, whatever. So my skills are... Gun boost... Gun plus 2. I'm just putting down the skills that I had in the search, just so that I can search it in the future. Sharpness plus 1. And Awaken. Pretty good set. No artillery skills, but that's what I ended up with apparently. Now I will... Oh, Martin's posting. Well, what happened? Oh, Martin's being an idiot. You know what? He's so close to getting kicked. He is so... You know what? He is. He's getting kicked, and I will tell you why. There are 3 reasons why Martin's getting kicked, okay? Reason number 1. He skipped the second hunt of that last quest. Reason number 2. He's hunt rank 7 in a room that says HRA+. Reason number 3. I asked if Gardane needed anything, and Martin goes and posts his quest. I mean... I'm not a saint. You're going to get kicked if you behave like that. Opening Athena's ass, that's right. Okay, so what did I say I wanted? I wanted guard boost, I wanted sharpness plus 1, artillery expert, and was there another one that I wanted? There was one other skill, I think. What would I want for a gun lance? Razor sharp. Razor sharp. Come on. Okay. Let's see if this can even be made. Is it possible to make it? I would need... Assuming it's a 1 skill charm, it would... Oh, I'm picking up my PS4 controller. Assuming it's a 1 skill charm, it would need to be Handicraft 4-3 slot, which I don't believe I have. That's a little bit beyond what I would have, personally. Sheenox joined the room. So, in terms of talismans, I really don't think I have a talisman like that. Handicraft... Don't think Handicraft is in skill 1 here. No. It's not looking like it. Try skill 2. Handicraft. Yes, I do have Handicraft talismans, don't freak out. I just don't know where they are. I must have gone past them. Yeah, it's looking like I went past them. Must have been in skill 1 somewhere. Handicraft. Open your eyes, Doomlink. Open your eyes. Maybe I only have a small number of them and I was looking for a long list of them. You never know, I might not have one. I'm pretty sure I do. It would be very strange if I didn't. There we go. Handicraft is down there. Isn't that so annoying? So tantalizingly close. I need a Handicraft 4 3 slot, and I've got 2 Handicraft 4 2 slots. Boo. Wow, elitist. Well, I don't have any second skills that would work for that. What's going on? Change gear. Oh. Me choose. Well, just please tell us what we're doing. Don't change your gear and then post the quest and then have us change gear. Just tell us what we're doing and then we can all change gear at the same bloody time. It's more time efficient, is it not? Yes, it is. Alright, so I could try... What charms do I have? Put there. Nothing that would help there. Maybe Razor Sharp is more important than Sharpness +1, so maybe I could swap Sharpness +1 for artillery skills. No, not artillery, I have that. Guard +1 or something. Let's check that. Guard +1. Can I do that? Oh, that's... Oh no, that's very good. That's actually very good. Now, let's see if I can get away with Guard +2. Most likely, yes. Alright, so what quest are we doing? Oh, Rathalos. Well, when you say Wrath... Hold on, are these... Where is this? N10, is this in the Red Rat? Thank you. Is this in the deserted island? What would I want to use? I'm not going to use an element for this. I could use poison. It is deserted island, okay. Now, Guard +2 is not possible. It's very interesting to see so many results for Guard +1, but Guard +2 is impossible. Impossible. So, I would almost certainly, yes, I certainly have a charm that can do that. So that would be Artillery Expert, Guard +1, Guard Boost, and Razor Sharp, which is more functional than my current Gun Lance set for the reason that it has sharpness skills. Now, I'm foregoing Attack Up Medium and Mind's Eye. Well, Mind's Eye is quite useful, isn't it? No, it's okay, because then again, something like Lagombalanche, I'm going to try and not take too much time looking at this, but... Oh, well, let's look at the sharpness values of all of my gun lances and see if I would rather sharpness +1 or razor sharp. That is okay with razor sharp. That is okay with razor sharp. That's good, good, good. Fine. Good. Okay, so I think we'll go with razor sharp. I think I would prefer that. The only one that would really, really get a lot of use out of sharpness +1 would be the Desagility, but I don't think we're going to bother with that. So I think that's going to be my set. It's going to be Guard Boost, Guard +1, Artillery Expert, and Razor Sharp. Pretty good for this game. And it's a good lot of skills for what armors in this game provide. If you understand what I mean when I say that. What would I like to use? I will go... I said I was going to do poison, didn't I? Let's go status, and we'll pick a poison weapon. I don't know. Maybe the dual blades, the Alcade's Asterism, but I think that's going to be a wasted skill. Look at that. I can't do that. There's no way. And then, no fucking way. No way on this planet Earth am I doing that. What we'll do is we'll go Honed Blade. No. Okay, whatever. Alcade's Asterism. Sorry for taking so long. Forgive me. Again, technically I'm not getting half of the use of Honed Blade with this, but at least it's not blanked out. At least it doesn't look quite so bad. Sorry for keeping you waiting, everyone. All-Terrain Terror. N10's got the Black Diablos bow, which I actually only just made a little while ago. I thought, I would like the Black Diablos bow. It was on camera, in fact. And I went and made it, just from scratch. I can't believe you said red rat. You're walking on thin ice, Enten. I don't want to be reminded of that horrible name. Red rat and green rat. Oh my god. I don't know which of the two of us is more confused, Vernon or myself. I don't know if he is more confused than I am about the fact that he's the only one who calls them rat, or if I'm more confused that he's calling it rat. Blows my mind. Make sure to bring antidotes and nullberries. Well, I usually have both on hand at all times, so I'm quite under control. Now, what are we starting with? Are we starting with Rathalos? I think so. Yes, we are. As far as how many appear at one time, I really don't know. It could be a case where we have an invading monster currently, so the objective-based monsters will appear one at a time, sequentially. That is what I would assume. Good old Rathalos. I do have rock steady, thank you very much. I'm not going well, I'm going demonized now, but I wasn't before because I at least wanted to get some hits in. Sometimes you have to weigh up whether or not it's worthwhile even going demonized. Because sometimes you'll go demonized, and in the time that it takes you to do that animation, don't you knock me off the fucking edge. In fact, I'd rather... No, I don't know. I was going to say I'd rather be knocked off the edge than die. You know, because if he doesn't knock me off the edge, and I'm stuck up here, I'm sort of vulnerable to attack. I don't know how he managed to almost kill 2 people. Just by doing normal things. Normal Rathalos things. Don't know what his deal is, but anyway. I still haven't applied poison here because I've only got, I think, 180 poison, something like that. Which I think relates to the frequency of poison application, not the amount of poison build-up each application has, if you understand. I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong, though. I could actually be totally fucking wrong about that. Someone might have to tell me. No, I think it is the amount of poison build-up per application. Oh, he's fucking dead. I think he got killed by my poison there, actually. Unless that was a pierce arrow that I didn't see. Hey, mega potions. Sadly, I need them. Feeling a bit peckish, actually. Totally unusual, isn't it? The Doomlink would be feeling peckish. So I guess Laggy is next, and then Brachydios is last. So we'll head over to where he spawns. I'm assuming I'm correct about the spawning system. Let's see if there's another monster running around. Like a great Jaggy or some crap. Yep. Or that could be, you never know, that could be Laggy. I'm kind of interested to see who that... No, it's probably Royal Ludroth, that's probably what it is. It's most likely Royal Ludroth over there. I was thinking it could be Laggy because it sort of follows the path that Laggy would follow, but... No, I think Laggy needs to spawn. The mistake that I made was not checking to see if there was a second monster at the start of the quest. But even then that would have... Let me rephrase that. Even then, that would not have necessarily set my mind at ease, because you never know, there could have been 2 monsters out of the required number that would have been in the area, but usually doesn't work that way. Usually doesn't work that way. I barely did anything there. Now, underwater dual blades, not recommended. Not really recommended, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You've got a decent amount of maneuverability. But it feels very strange. And one of the reasons why is because it's a short-range weapon type. All short-range weapon types, I don't know why I can't fucking speak at the moment. All short-range weapon types do feel a little weird underwater because your perspective underwater is different. Your feet are not planted firmly on the ground, and you don't realize how much you use where your character is standing as a point of reference for how far away you are from the monster. You come to realize that when you go underwater for the first time, and you see that actually it is kind of hard to get a perspective, sometimes. And as a result, short-range weaponry like dual blades become a little harder to use underwater versus on land, so... yeah, that's what's happening there. See, like here, see how I'm attacking? Well, I started off my attack there and I wasn't actually making contact. I thought I was close enough to hit, but I actually wasn't. That's the thing. Oftentimes it looks like you're not in range, but you are, and vice versa. It's really fucking annoying. Let me go in there. Take that opportunity. It's a little bit dangerous for me to not heal here, but whatever. No, I think I'm going to regret it pretty quickly if I don't dodge in the correct way here. I wouldn't be in a shitty position right now if I hadn't been dumb and decided not to heal for fun, practically. At least I'll get some Mega Potions back. That's one good thing, at least. I do kind of want to sharpen up. I'll do it after this hunt. Let's one zone him, come on. We can do it. Oh, there goes that tail. Did I cut that? I must have cut that somehow. I don't think Gardane was close enough for that. Gardane was quite far down and using dual blades, so I don't know. I'll get a Mega Potion. Thank you. And I suppose I'll no, I won't sharpen up yet. I'll wait for the next confrontation. I think I'll Farcast, actually. Just to be close to where Brachydios spawns. I would assume Brachydios would appear in Area 5. So, I think I would rather Farcast. And you're a lot closer to Area 5 in 3rd gen from the camp position. Of course, I'm used to having an appropriate element weapon for hunts such as these, so it's a little strange to realise that I wasn't doing all that much damage to the back there. Because it's not that great of a hit zone for physical damage, but for elemental damage, it's quite good. And I will Farcast. And it looks like Sheenox had the same idea. At least I think so. Yeah. Unless Sheenox was making his way out of here a long time ago. Oh, it's purple Ludroth, okay. I suppose I'll paintball you just so that we know where you are. If we wanted to, we could kill purple Ludroth as well. I'm gonna ask, actually. Want to kill purple? I think we should. I think that would be fun. Looks like they want to. Yeah, they're looking pretty keen to me. Unfortunately, I'm using poison weapons, but the good thing is that these also deal pretty good raw damage, so... Oh, that's right, I was going to sharpen up my weapons, wasn't I? So yeah, poison does nothing to purple Ludroth. I believe he has 100% resistance to poison, so it's a bit worthless in that sense, but my end damage value inflated for dual blades is 408, which is perfectly fine. So I don't have to worry too much. If I was capitalizing on poison damage, that'd be a real problem, but I'm certainly not with these weapons. Did I flinch Gardane there? I must have. You're rolling around quite a lot. You're going to get dizzy, Ludroth. If you're not careful. Yeah, he does look more pink than purple, doesn't he? Maybe purple's referring to the poison, because the poison's more purple, but yeah, pink Ludroth would have been more appropriate. Maybe they just didn't want two pink monsters by name, because he had pink Raytheon as well, but yeah, he's definitely pinkish. I'm pretty sure everyone called him Pink Ludroth in the Portable Third days. But strangely, that's one of those things that I don't remember super clearly. Because I think it's been overwritten by this game. My memory has been overwritten by this game anyway. I mean, everyone called... which is what happens every time. Whenever a subspecies is introduced in the Japanese version, but not in the English version yet, they will always be referred to by their colour. Because generally there will be a translation that gives a name to the monster that's not just the colour. So for example, Black Tigrex became Brute Tigrex. White Fatalis became Old Fatalis, although the official translation initially was White Fatalis. I would imagine Crimson Fatalis was originally Red Fatalis, for example. And Copper Blangonga was originally Brown Blangonga, which I've always found funny. Brown Blangonga. And what else? I hope no one called Rusted Kushala Daora Brown Kushala Daora. I wouldn't doubt it, but I think everyone knew that it was rusted. I don't think Kushala Daora's subspecies would have been referred to as Ashu in Japanese. I should check that actually, because Ashu just means subspecies. For some reason in the Japanese games, they just don't really care to give them special names. It's just subspecies. But there are exceptions to that, such as Gold Raytheon and Silver Rathalos and other such subspecies. Poopy Kushala, yeah. Brown, well, the point is that I don't think it would just be Ashu in that case, because it's so clearly rust. Because you know he's a metal dragon. That was a good flinch. Why am I fucking bouncing with blue sharpness? Gotta be joking. How are those arms so damn tough? It's just a Ludroth. Am I going to be that guy who's fighting the fucking purple Ludroth on my own? Oh, it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're committing. That's good to see. I will get another Mega Potion, thank you. Oh no, I'm at maximum, silly me. Invisible Nagakuga, yeah. I don't know what they called Lucent before this game got a translation. That's a good question. I wonder what people called him. Blue Nagakuga? I mean, maybe people called him Invisible Nagakuga, I don't know. Maybe you're right, maybe you're going based on your memory. I don't remember what they called him. But, yeah. Blue Nagakuga would be pretty funny. You've got Nagakuga, you've got green Nagakuga, you've got blue Nagakuga, you've got silver Nagakuga, you've got Zenith Nagakuga, you've got grey Nagakuga. Anyway, white Nagakuga. All of them. All of the Nagakugas. Where's my red Nagakuga actually? Or was the Zenith one kind of red? I can't remember now. The Zenith one was disgusting. Because he had an attack that would actually flinch you in midair. Like, you would be endlessly flinched by the attack, and you couldn't really get out of it. There must have been a way to get out of it, but it was like a single attack that would endlessly flinch you, and it was just not okay. Blue Brachydios, well, that doesn't really work. But I guess you're right. Is that a capture? Why would we go to all that effort just to capture him? Whose idea was that? Whatever. Maybe the logic is that we want purple Ludroth materials, so we may as well capture, I don't know. Oh god. You know, people might want potions after all that. Yeah, look, it's blue... Blue Brachydios. I know this guy. He's the blue variant. But my personal favourite is orange Brachydios. The one from the Ingle Isle. I don't know if you guys have ever fought orange Brachydios, but he's pretty tough. Well, that is a disappearing Ludroth. I guess the guild just took him. They have a way to remotely take captured monsters like that. They beam them up, you see. The guild hot air balloon was actually just above us and beamed up that fucking purple Ludroth. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they had extraterrestrial technology. It's impressive stuff. Never underestimate the guild. Why would Raging Brachydios be Black Brachydios? We're going based on colour here, and he's definitely orangey. Orange, yellow, yeah. We could call him Yellow Brachydios. I like orange because... yeah. You could call him Red Brachydios. Depends on how he's charged up his slime, you know. You know what? He's yellow, orange, red Brachydios. Let's call him that. That can be his name. Anyway. I don't know how good poison is against Brachydios, to be completely honest. I hadn't even thought about that. I'm sure it's quite fine. I think usually brute wyverns are pretty weak to poison. Usually. Maybe I'm wrong about that even. You know, don't always take what I say as fact. I just like things to talk about. I don't always find myself correct with everything that I say. And I feel like I make that clear with how I state it, you know. I'm usually, if I'm confident about something I will say, I'll use words to suggest that I am confident, but if I'm saying things like I think or I believe, then take it with a grain of salt, please. Get my charge back up. Blue Teostra, yeah, exactly. Blue Teostra. No, but in that case, she definitely had her own name. Nana Tesukotori. Tesukatori. There you go. Remember, I used to think it was Tesukatori. No. Nana Tesukat... Anyway, point is the correct name. I'm trying to work out what the incorrect one was. No. It is Nana Tesukatori. But anyway. And then... Teo Tesukatoru. I remember when I was doing my Freedom Unite Let's Play, like, 4 years ago. No. God, when was I doing that? It was 5 years ago when I was doing that. Anyway, that Let's Play didn't really go very far. But I was referring to them by their Japanese names for the most part. There was a white Teostra in Frontier? Well, I'm sure there was. That doesn't surprise me at all. Green Deviljho, well... Well, you've got Green Deviljho and Dark Green Deviljho, actually. Well, actually, people called Savage Deviljho Hungry Deviljho, now that I think about it. So I didn't know what they were calling Lucent Nagakuga prior to the translation. But I remember that Hungry Deviljho was the talk of the town. So, because, you know, ooh, Deviljho subspecies, what's going on? Because if you think about it, Portable Third was the game that had all the subspecies for the Tri-Monsters, but Deviljho never had a subspecies, and then in 3 Ultimate he gets one, so everyone's like, ooh, what's going on there? And it was Hungry Deviljho, that's what people called him. So... I haven't called him Hungry Deviljho in a very long time. I don't find myself slipping back into my old habits with that one. Because Hungry Deviljho I knew was not going to be his official name, like Hungry Deviljho. It was more of an affectionate term because he didn't have an official translation yet. I think everyone knew it wasn't going to be Hungry Deviljho forever. Yellow Sea Deus, yep. Imagine... I mean, yellow in particular... is so uninspired sounding. Imagine if... Imagine you finally get to this Sea Deus subspecies, and it's just called Yellow Sea Deus. You'd just be there like, Okay, it's yellow, great. Of course, Gold Cedeus would have been okay, but they called him Gold Beard Cedeus. It's not just his beard that's gold, you know, but it's kind of an appropriate name, I suppose. Piss Cedeus. Well, I'll tell you what's piss yellow. The 1st and 2nd gen gold Raytheon. Now that should have been yellow Raytheon. That was like lemon yellow. Oh, there was nothing gold about that. It was just ridiculous. You got your red rat, your green rat, your pink rat, your blue rat, your yellow rat, and your grey rat. So, there you go. And I just went through all of the rats for you, just in case you didn't know them. Shinox. Maybe Shinox wants to do one. Need anything. If you're wondering why my arms are very strangely positioned, it's because my keyboard is very strangely positioned. Need anything... Come on. Need anything... what's the name again, Shinox? Oh. Shinox, there you go. Baby Diarrhea Raytheon. That's another option, yeah. Hadn't thought of that. Baby Diarrhea. It's getting quite bright outside, actually, so what I will do is I will lower the brightness of my room light. How about that? I didn't lower it by much. Actually, almost doesn't make a difference, does it? N10's got like a blast vest on. Abyssal laggy shit. I hate that monster now. I hate doing Abyssal because I had to do so much of it. Event. Lick my ass. Abyssal laggy event. God damn you. I'm gonna ask, should we glitch it? We could glitch it. But the thing is, not everyone has gunner sets, you know. Want to glitch it? It has been a long time since I did a glitch run. It's been a long time. I wonder how long it's been. Definitely at least 4 years, I would say. 3 or 4 years. 4. 4 for sure. Shinox is like glitch? I'll ask if he has a ranged set. Oh no. Oh no. N10's like, oh no, I hear there's... Or rather, he says, I heard there's a good guide out there, Lord Zor. Yeah, well. Well, it's a reasonable guide. There's no... The only incorrect information in it, which I stupidly said, was that the head was a weak point. Of course the head isn't a weak point. It might be good for element, but I don't think it's a good shot zone. Cherry Kezu. Emo laggy, that's true. This is emo laggy. Yeah, I guess we'll just... Although I don't think I want a gun event laggy, event abyssal, because if we do, or if I do, I'll probably get one shot. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. What should I use then? Lance. Is Lance going to be my option? Probably. Could go Gun Lance. Yeah, okay. Let's go Gun Lance, that'd be interesting. I've got 2 choices for Dragon Gun Lance, don't I? No, I have 3. That's right, I have 3 choices. I still don't know why. So let's compare this to this. How do I feel? God, it's a little bit hard to defend Gen Mortalis, isn't it? The sharpness is good, that's for sure. But I'm quite willing to sharpen more often, so we'll do that. I will definitely make that gun lance set that I was just devising, but probably not on camera. I just don't want to destroy the flow of the stream. Emperor of the Abyss. I won't be going light bow gun because, I mean, I would if I wanted to do lots of damage, but I just think I'd be getting one shot versus the event, so don't think I'll be doing that. Could go heroics, ha ha ha, if I was worried about getting one shot. Polisher is actually really good. I'll be able to get some use out of Polisher and Hurler as well. Not. Oh, looks like N10 has the Stygian Gun Lance, which is pretty decent. Actually got some pretty heavy dragon damage there. There are quite a lot of dragon gun lances in this game, actually. Well, by the looks of it, N10 has me outclassed, stats-wise. He's got more elemental damage and more physical attack. Ah, that's what it is. He's got an Awakened Gun Lance set. Ah, I see what's going on here. Now, the interesting thing is that the Stygian weapons are actually very good for Dragon in this game, but what they do is they add a barrier to entry for your elemental damage, and that is Awakened. Now, this is not the case for all of the weapons, because the bow, I think, has it innately. And I think maybe one other weapon has it innately. In other words, without Awaken, but yeah. The Stygian weapons, if you have Awaken, are generally the best dragon weapons in this game. That's how they've balanced it. Yeah, it's dragon and fire. Primary is dragon, secondary is fire. Let me see if there are any other weaknesses. I do have my reference. Abyssal Laggy. There it is. Nope, only 2 weaknesses. And the primary is dragon, secondary, fire. There you go. I probably should have loaded my shots there, but whatever. I've never gun-lanced this monster, by the way. But that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. Oh, fuck you. Look how much damage that's dealing, what the hell? Who wants to do this hunt? Let's do Event Abyssal, ha ha ha. Yeah, let's do an underwater confrontation where you can almost get one shot. Great idea. I'm getting fucking destroyed and I have barely touched this monster. I'm not even getting attacked by the monster itself. And I'm in trouble. What a joke. I hate this thing. And I hate this quest. That was a bit of a distant flash bomb there. But yeah, even though I haven't used Gun Lance against this monster before, I should be fine. Oh, see? Okay, I've shielded that, so now I should be safe, right? Yeah. Provided you shielded it once, you'll be alright. I don't know if that actually hit. I've got no idea. I don't know why this guy had a bright idea to do the fucking event quest. The amount of trouble you have to go to actually... I have to try to backdash out of this. It's my only fucking choice. Seemed that worked. Thankfully. I just didn't have confidence that I'd be able to sheath in time for that. But yeah, anyway. I don't believe that the increased drop rate for dynamos is worth the effort that you have to go to even do the fucking glitch, so... Excuse me, to do the event. I was thinking about the glitch in my mind. I was thinking, God, I would have preferred to do the glitch. That's why I said glitch. But yeah, it's not even worth doing the event for that additional... Oh God, I can't see what's going on. Anyway. Oh, I don't have air filters, great. I love that. I love forgetting that shit. It's just not even... No, 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 no! I can't avoid this. No fucking way. Have I managed to avoid it? That's crazy. I can't believe I'm already out of fucking air. This is garbage. Shit. Why are we even doing this hunt, goddammit? There's a screaming child, if you can hear him. I hate this quest, says N10. I do too. I think it's dumb. Now that I don't need it anymore, I'm so not okay to do it. I should never have asked Shinox if he needed something. Anyway. Point is, I'm bloody unimpressed with this. And I've barely hit this fucking monster. And you know what? These underwater twisters are particularly annoying. Like, they're just not okay. They're not okay at all. Especially if you're using a weapon like this. Barely see. I couldn't see anything. I had the monster covering my screen, and I had a terribly thrown flash bomb. So I got the best of both worlds there. This fucking blue laggy. Wait, this isn't blue laggy, this is... well, emo laggy, I guess you could say, but... you could say, Tron laggy, because he's got the Tron colours going. I mean, he's not necessarily... well, you know what I mean when I say that. You could say neon laggy. Hot topic laggy, yeah, exactly. Neon laggy. I mean, that would have been an appropriate subspecies name prior to the official translation. Yeah, I don't know why he... look, the reason why he wanted to do the event is because he has confidence in the team, and he wants better drop rates for dynamos. So, that's why he's doing the event. Well, maybe this isn't even an event. Is this the event, or is this like an HR... no, this is the event, isn't it? I was wondering if it was one of the HR8 quests, but it's not. The regular quest is an HR8 quest. Oh god. No. Well, fortunately, I got shot away there. That was good. I might need to sharpen up here. Polisher isn't as good as speed sharpening, but it sometimes works. And when it does work, it only requires 2 go-overs with the whetstone. As opposed to 3. Fucking head. If you haven't noticed, I've barely been able to get out a bloody combo. Okay, fortunately you were flinched out of that. I'm very glad to see it. This is going to be a long quest, by the way. Oh, great. Love that shit. I hate this. Should have done the glitch. Even with 3 people dealing damage, should have done the fucking glitch. The difference is purely in terms of health and damage dealt by the monster. So, outside of that, same confrontation. Thanks for that. It was very nice of you. Sorry. Yeah, you should be sorry. Thankfully, I can get a full fucking combo out, and thankfully someone's finally had a successful flash bomb. I mean, if you're gonna flash, do it right. Stop blinding the team for no result. Or maybe, no, maybe the flash has always worked, but Laggy actually resists it. Or rather, gets over it very quickly, because if you saw... oh, what a terrible time for a fucking paralysis. I mean, you could not have had worse timing. Right when everyone is guaranteed to be far away from the monster, we get a paralysis. I mean, that's enough to make me want to die. That's awful. What is that? Is that a drill? Bob the Builder has a drill. I don't know if it's a... oh, it's a fucking... is that a floor sander or a angle grinder? It's one of those sorts of fucking things. Oh my god. I mean, this is what happens when you say things like, oh, Bob the Builder hasn't done anything. He hasn't made any noise for about a month. Yeah, well, guess what happens? Bob the Builder, who no doubt tunes into my fucking live streams, was like, oh, you don't like the silence, huh? Not that I said that, but... he's a fucking masochist, that's the... no, sadist, sorry. Anyway. Go take his bloody floor sander and sand his ugly beard off his goddamn face. It was probably an angle grinder. There goes Gardane. Oh dear. So, I'll probably not sharpen my weapon until it drops down to green sharpness. I think that's going to be the plan going forward, because I'm only sharpening up to white every time. And the difference in damage between white and blue is not really worth sharpening up for every time, so... Probably won't do that. Let's get our heavy shot. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? I have not been using Wyvern Fire. I am an idiot, and I'll tell you why I haven't been doing it. It's because Generations Ultimate keeps teaching me not to do it at the start of the fucking quest. So I don't even think to do it. I only do it if I happen to be in the red. In Generations Ultimate. It's just... It really fucks up my instincts with Gun Lance. I hate that. See, it's changes like that that really piss me off. Because they affect how I play the older games quite negatively. Anyway. Go and heal up here. Keep away. Oh yeah, great. The fucking environment getting in my way now. It just doesn't feel good to be in blue sharpness against this monster. So I just blocked the physical attack of the laggy, so I needed to keep my shield up for the actual underwater twisters. Off he goes again. Fucking Bob. I don't know if you can even hear it all that much. Maybe what I'll do is I'll hope you can't hear it and I'll just continue as normal without imitating it stupidly. But you know, I have to stress that my room is pretty well cut off sonically from, or I guess you could say acoustically, from the outside world. So this guy with his fucking power tools really does make a lot of fucking noise for it to be audible for you guys. And the same goes for the damn birds outside. They're very fucking loud. Anyway. We can, but it's fine if you say so. I've already done 2 hours, so maybe I'll just cut the stream short or something. I just don't want a lot of footage with that dickhead in the background. I'm just not a fan of it. For obvious reasons. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I like to cut it short, if I can. It's music to your ears. Well, I'm glad you're getting into it. At this point, I'm just hoping that we can succeed in this quest. That's really what I hope for. Because as much as I don't like it, it would be 10 times worse to go to the trouble of fighting him for, say, 15 minutes and then we fail anyway. I mean, that is the shit that really causes trouble. It's when you put all this effort in and then you get no result. At least, if you get some rewards and the sense that you've killed the monster and therefore have accomplished something, that's better than actually failing, because failure... You see what I mean? I mean, we are actually in the running to fail this fucking quest, because we're 2 out of 3 deaths right now. So... Crap, says Shinox. He felt the need to censor that. I've never seen someone feel the need to censor crap. I think crap is... Unless crap can't be said in the chat, it's possible. Maybe they censor crap. I mean, they censor words like after, which is but in German. So... How goes the hunts? Reasonably well. They'd be going a lot better if I didn't have Bob the fucking builder next door with his power tools trying to ruin my recording, but he's stopped just for now. Just for now. Which is good. I mean, what I could possibly do is make the game louder to try and muffle it, but... Anyway, what I was saying was that we are in the running to fail this. What's he doing? Okay. Wasn't sure what he was doing. I don't know. I thought he might be swimming to the bloody Dragonator or something. Oh dear. Oh yeah, that's right. Wyvern Fire. I should do that myself. Let's not start with that again, Autonomic. There's a sore spot. Anyway. Go Wyvern Fire. Uh-oh. See, that's really bad because I can't back hop out of... Oh, I might still make it. Provided you've got the stamina. It's surprising how much distance you can cover with those back hops. You know, when I first did it, I had no confidence that I'd actually be able to make up the distance needed to avoid that attack, but actually, it can be done, and I have succeeded. Well, I was about to say, no, Okay, if I'm going to say it, I may as well say it. So far, every time that's happened, I have succeeded. Now that I've said that, I will fail the next one, most likely. Well, let's see. Oh, never mind. You got flinched. Couldn't put that theory into practice, though. I'm ready to shield. Now, we might have a... No, we won't have a follow-up. Because if it's charged up, there's sort of a swimming animation that he does, and he really looks as if he's charging up the dash. When he does that, it means he won't do a follow-up. When he just does a random swim forward charge attack like that, that can have a follow-up. This time it didn't, fortunately. But it only really gets a phone. There goes Bob again. But it only really gets a follow-up when he doesn't really gear up for the charge. That's the idea. I'm going to raise the volume of the game. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. I mean, it might sort of drown out my commentary, but whatever. I've also got some yelling children over there. I'll give them all something to yell about in a moment. They'll be screaming for... Well, anyway, let's drop that subject. Let's try to... Okay, see, sometimes the one that appears closest to you just phases out, which is really annoying. I enjoy the laggy design. I also very much enjoy the Abyssal design. I just don't like fighting him. I suppose the biggest issue with Abyssal is the fact that he's an underwater fight. If he wasn't an underwater fight, I suppose he'd be enjoyable, but... Yeah, the issue is that regular laggy is annoying enough underwater. Well, thank God for that. That was sub 15. Nice work. And we didn't fucking fail the quest. Nicely done. Nicely done. What is Bob even working on? He's working on being an arse. Oh, he doesn't have to work to do that. His mere existence succeeds in that regard. Home renovations. Very extensive home renovations. That seem to go on endlessly. Alright. He stopped again, thank God. But really, I'll have to consider whether or not I want to stop. It might be necessary. At least I got, over 2 hours without him interrupting, so... That's one good thing. Oh, you've got a dynamo? That's pretty good. I love how you still need dynamos. It really goes to show how difficult they can be to get. Alright, I think, no. I was hoping, I had a feeling that I'd get one too, but it didn't happen. I regret to say. Oh, I think I just took something that was going to create another stack, so I'll have to go and fix that. This will definitely be the last hunt, guys, I'm sorry. I mean, I was wanting to go for at least another 30 to 40 minutes from now, but Bob has, well, decided to be Bob. Dickhead. But it is what it is. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have any outstanding stacks. I think this is all that was created, I hope. Alrighty. And with that, I believe I will bid you all adieu. We got a little bit done. It wasn't too bad. Again, if it's under 2 hours, it's just not good enough. But 2 hours is, for me, the minimum that I like to aim for with these recordings. You just got here, well, I'm sorry, Beans. I apologise for that. But, and as far as Twitch buffering, that's on your side. I can't really help you there. But, anyway, I do thank you all for watching, and N10's a little bit upset. I'm going to let everyone know that I'm closing the room. And just as I'm about to finish, Bob is having his last hurrah, which is lovely of him. You fucking dick. And, yeah, I'm just going to let everyone leave, and N10's waving goodbye. These other two don't seem to be in a screaming rush to leave. But, yeah, I'll probably end it though. Who is Bob? It's a bit of a meme at this point, Cereal Beans. There's a guy next door who is constantly doing home renovations, and he's always using power tools that negatively affect my recordings, and we just call him Bob the Builder. So, we need an emote that says, "Fuck off, Bob." Wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be just a delight? Come on, Gardane. I'm literally sitting here waiting for you. Anyway, I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time I'm live in Monster Hunter or in anything else that you might be interested in watching of mine. Bye bye.